Okay guys, Carlton here again, the Crypto Pro, with another quick video just to draw some attention to some things that I'm seeing on the BTC chart that we probably need to take into consideration. So let's just jump in it real quick, get rid of me, and zoom out to the overall. Okay, here's that whole huge trading channel, and as we can see, bouncing around all throughout the channel, and now we're coming up on this line pretty aggressively. I'm thinking, let me scrunch down and find out which one of these big circles that it is that we're following here. It's this one. It's this humongous 3.618. That's what concerns me. We have action along a major fib circle boundary. This ring is big. Now we've got the micro ring with that light blue that's in here that it kind of had some action going along, but I think this is along the major 3.618 of this one that takes us between the November 10th 2018 to June the 23rd 2019 set. So let's zoom in and let me show you what I'm seeing here, which is a cause for concern. Two things. Number one, the stochastic is way up here, about to make a move. We've got the blue fast line here that, okay, let's say, whoops, let's make this a real thin line here. This blue line is probably going to do something like this, okay? And then on your slow line, you're probably looking at something that'll happen like this, okay? So at any rate, you see these peaks happen, they come and they go, and sometimes we can double bounce. And so there could be a double bounce. It could be a double hump camel like that. But single or double, here's that 3.618 line right here. And so what really has me concerned is that during the last stochastic peak, we took up to the top of the parallel trading channel. On this one, it was in the middle of the channel. And so each one of these, we were bringing a higher price. And now when we had this peak here, it was lower, but that's not much of a peak. And then, of course, we had the major drop where the stochastic bottoms were declining here and here. And so now that we've come to the point where we are about to break that 80% boundary, we're looking at action along this 3.618. So what I'm thinking is that if this price returns here and comes back down to the line, and then it could bounce around until we get to this green line here, we'll either take a dump here, or we could take a dump here. There is also another possibility that we don't take the massive dump until we get up to the top of this one here. But all of this is very possible, and any one of these could return us down to the bottom of that trend or parallel trading zone there. So let's clear everything, turn drawing off, and zoom into the 4 hour. It doesn't look as bad on the 4 hour. But as you can see, we've got a little bit of information that we can glean from this, because here's a stochastic peak, and then of course we dip down, and then the next one took us up on this rise. The third one was a higher price, so that was an uptrend. So that was kind of encouraging that this was the overall trend, and still looks like it is the overall trend. But if this crossover occurs right here and we don't get up above the 80%, we could continue on this trend here. So it might be, this is the 4 hour, we might be looking at, a few days before we get to the point where we have that major decision of where do we bail off of this line. And the reason why we probably are going to bail off of this line is because people, the big whales in the stock market, I'm telling you what, they're betting on stocks because they're jumping back in because they think the bailout is going to work. They're not putting their money in the ETFs or taking it out. And so if these folks are thinking that the bargains are on Wall Street, they're not going to put that into Bitcoin. For several reasons, we could have a sequence of events that causes this big red dip to come to fruition. And then it could be muddled, because when people start getting their fake money from the government, and if they start to buy Bitcoin, well, of course, it might not be enough to prop price up. But as the dollar loses value, what is that going to do to this Bitcoin chart, this Bitcoin USD chart? It's meaningless. So if we're trading at 6,705 right now, and we dump $6 trillion into the economy, where, what is it, $2 trillion is going into the hands of the people that will be out there as velocity, as money velocity. Most of that will go to bolstering banks where they're going to keep in reserves. But for $2 trillion of it, it could end up out in the economy. So if the value of the dollar goes down, what is the price of Bitcoin? When you look at this Bitcoin USD chart, if we go through inflation and the dollar goes down by 20 or 30%, it makes Bitcoin look like it's going to spike up to $7,000 or $8,000. But is that a true price run? No, because you haven't gained anything, because you've lost value in the dollar. So we might just have to wait this out and look and see what's going on. But you get real complicated when you start looking at these charts with the pairings. Bitcoin USD. When you look at Ethereum USD is going to look different than Ethereum Bitcoin in terms of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin might be stable where USD goes down. And so the Bitcoin or the Ethereum Bitcoin chart might look like it stays level or moves up, while the Ethereum USD chart might have a tremendous spike because USD goes down in value. Something to think about. So we'll just watch and see how this plays out. This is Carl DeFlowers, the Crypto Pro. And post your comments on where you think the overall market is going to go. I'll have another video coming out soon talking about the altcoin market as a whole. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.